Welcome back, everyone, for part 5 of the 5-part series of our Injustice roster picks, the top 7 from each of us. So if you haven't seen 1 through 4, go check those out. 1 being Temp's, 2 being mine, 3 being Django's, 4 being Razor's, and now last but certainly not least, we have Shadaloo rounding things out. So, sir, how are you doing?
Best for last, folks. Best dregs. The worst of it. The Last of Us.
I'm interested to see if there's any repeats, because thus far we've only had like maybe 2 or 3 characters that have made multiple lists, mainly just honorable mentions. I think there's only 1 character that made actual lists, not counting honorable mentions, and that was Swamp Thing was on a couple of our lists. So we will, we'll see. So, or no, Star Sapphire was another one. Temp had her, and so did Razor. But anyways. Number 7.
Number 7. I'm gonna probably go with Bronze Tiger for this one.
Interesting. I don't know much about Bronze Tiger.
Bronze Tiger is an oftentimes member of the Suicide Squad.
Right.
That's gonna be a predominant theme in my list. Martial artist, all around nice guy, for a guy that kills people. I think he's just kind of a natural fit for the game, really. You gotta realize, folks, going in here, I don't care much about Injustice one way or the next. I didn't like the first game that much, but he's a character I could easily see making the roster. He's got a little bow staff, if I remember right. Definitely belongs.
Interesting. So, what kind of moves do you think he'll have?
For a lot of charging stuff. I mean, this is just a wish list. I know he's not actually going to make it.
Sure, yeah. But I mean, I'm just curious. When you thought of the character, surely you've thought of maybe, oh, he might have interesting gameplay, or are you just purely basing it off you like the character, so you want him in one way or another type of thing?
I'm just thinking of like people that would actually make sense to have in a martial arts, a fighting game.
Right.
I didn't give specific thought to moves or projectiles or any of that shite.
Gotcha. All right. Sir Bronze Tiger.
Bronze Tiger, definitely a good fit.
What do you think his chances are? I know you said not very likely. What do you think?
Not very likely. I mean, outside chance, but I mean, he's a logical choice for a fighting game. I think that alone gives him something of an edge over a lot of people who I don't really understand why they'd be in a fighting game in the first place.
Yeah, there's definitely a few of those.
All right, moving on.
Yep, numero 6.
Again, Suicide Squad. Captain Cold.
Captain Cold is a good one. That is somebody I feel like has at least a much better chance, in my opinion.
Yep, I mean, Flash is so hot right now on TV, you guys. I've not seen a single episode. But him and Flash, you know, he's kind of one of the main members of Flash's Rogues Gallery.
Right.
He's got to be one of the more widely exposed ones. He seems like a good character for DC to actually give a chance to toss in the game for sheer recognizability factor. I'm still not quite sure why Killer Frost got in the first one and Captain Cold didn't, but
Yeah, that's odd. Especially because Flash never got a villain in there, so which most people did. That is odd.
Didn't they get like Professor Zoom in one of the upgrades or something? Or Reverse Flash or whatever the hell they're calling him.
Like in the main game?
Maybe it was like a mobile game or something. I don't know.
Maybe, because he was never added as DLC, so...
Okay. Well, Professor Zoom would make a lot of sense to actually have in there, but again, you're venturing into MK Ninja territory. No, Captain Cold is a bad mamma jamma if ever there was one.
Curious, real quick, before we talk about Captain Cold more, do you think Professor Zoom would be... Do you think he'd be able to be possible to make his own character and be different enough from Flash, or do you think he's better off as just a skin?
They'll probably make him a skin. I mean, if you really want to have... It's strange, actually. I think it's actually... It can go either way. Because Zoom's powers are just different enough from Flash that they could actually add a lot of differences between the two. It does not need to be 2 speedsters running around.
Right.
I haven't read DC in a number of years, but I remember like his powers worked a lot differently. A lot of more of a vibration focus and kind of quick bursts of speed. I remember he walked really funny too. he had kind of like a ring thing going on where like he'd just sort of like slowly creep on you, like advance from one place to the next. I forgot where I saw that. But Zoom can be fairly traumatizing. He'd be a pretty creepy character.
Yeah, I mean, I just bring him up because I know Smokeman was saying on, I think, our last video with Razor. Razor said he'd probably just be a skin, and that's probably what he would do, but Smokeman was saying he disagreed. He wants Professor Zoom to be his own character.
Could go either way. I'd like to see him as his own character, but the more variation, the merrier. But it isn't saying that he does not have to be a straight-up second speedster. They can be different enough to make it work.
Oh yeah, and I was supposed to bring this up. Chrome asked me to bring this up.
Okay.
I don't know what the hell. I forget what character this is. Do you know who this is? El Bueno Excelente.
Oh my god, what?
He asked me to bring this up.
Excelente. Oh my god. Okay, Chrome. If Bueno Excelente makes it into Injustice, I will mail NRS Studios $1 million in paper bags.
Yeah,
well, audience. Okay, I'm not remembering the name of the team he was in, but I just remember reading like Wikipedia articles and like some brief like scans about these characters. Okay, what was the name of the team he was in? All right, he was in. Okay, he was in Section 8, Hitman. He was part of a really shitty team, and what was that team called? Yeah, I guess it was Section 8. So, Bueno Excelente is kind of a member of like this really crappy team of supervillains, like kind of bottom of the barrel. Like we're not even talking about like Justice League Antarctica. We're talking about actual societal rejects. And I'm just gonna read you Bueno Excelente's excerpt from the DC Wikia.
Gotcha.
Bueno Excelente is an obese, bald Latino man who sweats a lot. He is a member of the superhero team Section 8 where he defeats evil with the power of perversion.
What does that even mean?
Bueno Excelente wears a trench coat and virtually nothing else. Bueno Excelente was sitting at a table with his other teammates, and one of them asked him to stop poking them underneath the table, if I remember right. Bueno Excelente was on the other side of the table.
The hell?
Bueno Excelente has cornered people, and then you cut away to hear screaming. Bueno Excelente is a rapist with an enormous schlong.
What the fuck? So I'm guessing that's him here in this picture with the trench coat.
Yes. he's always constantly like licking his lips, and the only things he ever says are bueno and excelente pretty well.
All right.
This does not need to happen, Chrome. I'm sorry.
All right, well, there, I brought it up. I just told him I'd do it, and I forgot in the last video, so.
Fair enough.
Anyways.
Pick the right guy to bring him up to.
Yeah, I think Captain Cold definitely has decent chances. As we talked about him in previous videos, when Mr. Freeze was brought up, it's pretty much down between Captain Cold and Mr. Freeze, who would be the ice user of the game. But I think Captain Cold has more of a chance just based on the fact that he is a Flash villain, and they're going to want to at least put one Flash villain in there. I feel like this time at the very least.
I tried very hard on this list to stay away from Bat's Rogues Gallery as much as possible.
Right.
He's got some decent characters out there, and they get all sorts of exposure to the Bat's Rogues Gallery, and a lot of other ones don't. So I can see Captain Cold in a fighting game, absolutely. I mean, Mr. Freeze in a fighting game, absolutely. See, they're all the fucking same, these cold users. But,
these cold
users. He's like a fucking slow-moving tank projectile machine. That doesn't sound very fun. I don't know.
All right.
Captain Cold, I can at least see, like, having a mix of rushdown techniques, Sub-Zero blasts. He'd be a lot of fun for Sub-Zero players.
It'd be interesting, yeah. I think he would definitely be fun. And I'm interested in what they do with his outfit.
Not gonna lie, I would totally want the 80s version where he had, like, the little thin, slitted bebop slash... the bebop-style shades when they were all, like, purple. He had his parka on.
Right.
I don't know. I'm stuck in the past.
Can you not see this picture here?
Let's see here.
This is a more modern one, but it's the same kind of idea, yeah.
I can see that. Yeah, that's basically it. All right. You can see they haven't changed him too much. Is that Catman I see next to him?
It's not Catman, that's Bronze Tiger.
Oh, okay. Sorry, the
Isn't
resolution
it?
is really low.
Yeah.
So it sort of looks like Catman. Yes, I see the head now.
Catman.
Actually, when I first read Suicide Squad in the '80s, Bronze Tiger was not wearing the tiger helmet for whatever reason. I figured that he actually gets power from the thing. Maybe he does. I haven't paid attention in a while, but no, like he was just running around like helmetless and had his outfit on and swung a bow staff around.
Right. So he's a tiger, right? Like he's a crossbreed, or
He's a human.
okay?
He's a
So
person. That's just a helmet.
Okay, I'm looking at this picture. Yeah, it just looks really realistic. But yeah, I mean, the rest of them's human, so it makes sense because this looks like a shirt. So yeah, it would make sense that that's a helmet of sorts. All right.
Yep.
All right then. You're number 5.
All right. In which I slowly begin to realize I may have some sort of cat fetish. Cheetah.
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 I think she has great chances as well. What do you think of? Temp brought up a good point about cheetahs. Do you think they'd put Cheetah and Catwoman both in the game?
That's the problem, isn't it?
Yeah. Because Catwoman's a pretty popular Batman character, and she's not really a villain or hero, so she kind of could play either side in that regard. And I don't think she'll be left out, but she's not somebody that I think is guaranteed, but more so than Cheetah, but Cheetah is Wonder Woman's like main villain, so that's interesting.
I mean, Wonder Woman needs to have a nemesis in that game somewhere.
Right, and first game she had Ares, but they're not. I don't think they're gonna repeat that. So it's down between like Cheetah or Cersei, maybe.
Maybe Hades. Cersei's a possibility.
Yeah.
But I mean, Cheetah and Wonder Woman's relationship is pretty personal. These are the two that actually kind of really do, hate each other.
Right.
So, I'd like to see it happen.
I mean, would their gameplay really? I mean, they managed to make the lanterns different. They made Black Adam and Captain Marvel or Shazam or whatever different. So I think it's possible to make Catwoman and Cheetah different and still.
She was actually in the old Justice League SNES game way back in the day. That was the first time I ever saw her.
Yeah.
I think it's very possible.
It's possible, yeah. I think her chances are decent, maybe like a 60%. I mean, she is.
Sure. They can both be agile, but you can base Catwoman's attacks more around whips and long attacks and shite, and just keep Cheetah kind of a really fast hit and run character.
Right. Because Catwoman uses a lot of gadgets too. She has the bola, she has her whip, she has the caltrops, which I would not be surprised to see that like reused from Aaron Black. Now that they develop a system for it. So yeah, I mean, I could see them being different enough, but yeah, it is going to be. It would lessen her chances a little bit, but yeah, I agree. But Catwoman's not necessarily a guarantee either, so it's possible that Cheetah makes it and Catwoman doesn't. But all right, I need to throw her up here real quick before we move on.
Absolutely.
Cheetah lady. Come on, don't fight me, Google.
Captain Cold Harbor.
All right, here we go.
That could be problematic. I think you need to
Why?
Cheetah. A cheetah is a thing.
Oh no! I mean, why is that problematic?
Just take a bunch of cheetah pictures.
Here we go.
Normal cheetahs.
Cheetah.
Okay, that's not DC's cheetah, but
Are you sure?
if you want to go along those lines, why not?
Are you sure that's not DC's cheetah? I'm pretty sure I've seen this thing walk up on 2 legs before. I think it's just fooling you quite a bit.
I've seen a bear do that. Never seen a cheetah do that.
Oh my god, that scary bear. Alright. I will get the right cheetah this time. Here we go. Ah, jeez. Cheetah.
DC Comics.
DC Comics, here we go.
I saw you type Cheetos.
I have no idea what you're referring
to. Why would you lie like this?
What are you talking about? This is
trying
Cheetah.
very hard.
Here we go.
Do you consider DC's Cheetah not like safe for broadcast or something?
No, this is
naked, but come on. Now.
No, this is look. Okay, maybe Cheetah's chances. She's not a guarantee, but you know what would make her a guarantee is if she was a guest character version of the Cheetah, or maybe this could be an alternate outfit. There's cross promotion. You could have Injustice branded Cheetos. Oh my gosh! I should get paid to write this stuff.
12:30 p.m. where you are. Have you already been drinking?
Well, I don't drink in the first place. So,
for once, I'm not drunk, so someone's got to be.
Well, I'm not a drinker, but this is all natural craziness. DC, here we go. Let's get the right one this time. All right. Let's find a
There you go.
Find a good one here. This one's a good one.
Meow.
All right, Cheetah. Boom.
There you go.
I would have gone with Chester, but all right.
Stick Joe Camel in there while we're at it. Have a sense
Just do a mascot. I mean, might as well. Mortal Kombat has, horror icons. Why not Injustice have mascots for advertising? Brand product mascot.
That doesn't even seem like that much of a distant possibility at this point.
All right, you're number 4.
Metallo.
Some guy on the Injustice live podcast thing or whatever you want to call that I did for Injustice 1, he was all about Metallo. I can't remember who that was, though.
I can't picture a more visually stunning Superman villain, or the possibilities that this guy could have in a fighting game environment, portrayed by NRS, to have on the screen. He just looks absolutely amazing. You could the things you could do with him. You could have him start off with the synthetic skin and have him just take progressively more damage as the round goes on, so it just falls off and the robot inside as the match continues.
Right.
Shape shifting. He can make his arms into bulldozers. He could. There is no limit to what you could do with Metallo as a fighting game character. He could have the kryptonite blasts from his chest. He could, be a short-range grappler. Why is this character not in every fucking game? Why do we get Zod? Why do we get evil Superman? Why do we constantly get Bizarro? Because it's easier.
Right.
No, fucking Metallo should be in fighting games. He really should.
No, yeah, I see where you're coming from. It'd be interesting. It'd be especially interesting if... Well, I don't know how it'd play out in a fighting game, but if he had a kryptonite mechanic for his gimmick button that would somehow make Superman weaken, I don't know. That's probably not fair, but...
Make him take energy from it like Kotal Khan does or something.
Yeah, that's true.
There's 20 different ways you can go with this guy, and I don't understand why he's not more of a presence in DC's marketing.
Besides, you can have an alternate as the Terminator.
That's also true.
There you go. So you gotta sell it to WB. It's like, Metallo, Terminator. You can throw your little guest character stuff that you want to put in there, and just give us our Metallo. Win-win.
Don't give them ideas. I just want to see Cobb and Terminator crossovers in MK12.
I'm just saying. It'd be interesting. As far as Superman villains go, though, yeah, I mean, he's got some good picks as well. I would like Mr. Mixia's Pitlick. How about you?
No, not at all.
Why?
It just it could work, but it's just so damned awkward.
It would be hilarious, though. He's such a little tricky pain in the ass.
If they were still in the business of doing original original secret characters, I could totally see Mixie as a kind of guy you'd have to fulfill requirements to actually fight.
Right.
That'd be nice.
That's true. He would make a fun little fight like that.
Everyone, because he can do anything he wants to.
Right. Not somebody you would want to be able to have the people play as, but as just a secret fun thing would be interesting. I agree with that.
Rather than actually maybe throwing batarangs from Batman, he actually throws little bat mites.
Right.
Something he does is ultra cartoonish and doesn't fit at all with the rest of the game.
Yeah.
I can see this.
All right. You're number 3?
All right. Black Hand.
That would be good.
That would be good.
I'm all for more lanterns. Do you want the lantern version or the just straight up Black Hand?
Lantern version. Definitely lantern version. That series under Jeff John just took Black Hand to new levels of amazing. You're doing it again.
I'm not doing anything. Come on, I got a little more sensitive.
Life, and look what I'm getting.
I'm fine. Everything is cool.
I'll wait this out here. That one's brown.
Okay, now you're being racist. Black Hand. Tell me why you want Black Hand.
Hang on your screen. On your screen. Okay,
Fine.
no.
I will shrink this down. We'll just leave that right up here. It's just going to be right up here. This is our little secret. It's our little happy Black Hand.
You're just running out of room, aren't you?
Yes. This is just our little secret. Don't tell anybody.
Alright, no, Black Hand is amazing. I could see Black Hand working very much in a way similar to Quan Chi, where he summons shit, or like Scorpion's demon incarnation.
Right.
Bringing up corpses left and right. Plus, he's just fucking creepy when written right.
Yeah.
He's scary, decomposing. It's easy to have another lantern like Atrocitus or Larfleeze to just summon ring constructs and shit. This is a guy that could actually work with corpses.
Right.
Who could actually be creepier. Who could actually be he'd stand out a little bit more from the pack, I think.
Right. I agree. Black Hand's awesome. I think he would make... Like I said, I'm all for more lanterns, and if anything, I would want him to be like the villain of the game. I think that would be really fun. Kind of do the whole Blackest Night type of... You don't have to repeat the storyline, but you could have him be a villain. What's that?
No, I said I'd actually be pretty down for that. Seeing him in, like, I don't know, a Shang Tsung position while Necron's the last boss, whatever.
Oh.
I'd love that.
That would be badass. That would be really, really cool. Have him be the sub boss, and then have Necron be the very final boss, and wow, that should be they should do that. There's really no reason not to, because Razor was saying Anti-Monitor would be a good villain, and I agreed with that. That'd be interesting. Basically, we were all in agreement that Darkseid as the main villain is just kind of too obvious, and then
it's overplayed. Definitely.
Right, it's overplayed, and then someone like Brainiac would be fun, but that's still like that's not anything. I don't know. That's not anything like flashy or exotic. Whereas a Black Hand, I feel like would be quite fun. Plus, you're bringing in more lanterns and you're bringing in more superheroes to the fight, so it'd add a lot more reason to bring all these mishmash of heroes together, type of thing. I think it would be really cool.
I don't know if I'd go with Anti-Monitor. He certainly has a great design, but I've always hated that name. The Anti-Monitor.
He hates monitors. What's wrong with that?
Anyway. So, I mean, Black Hand, work with corpses, decompose, recompose, shoot himself through the head as a projectile. I don't know.
I think it would be freaking awesome. Just as his... I'm thinking, like, for his different moves, he could use, basically, other fighters. So he would just bring up their corpse from the ground and then use, press another button to make that corpse do a special move. I think something like that would be amazing.
Damn straight.
So yeah, there's a lot of creativity you could do with that. It could very well be like a Shang Tsung approach where he can use other people's abilities, maybe even people that aren't even in the game, so you could have more cameos, which would make sense. So maybe in the story mode, whoever's dead, he could use type of thing as his army, but in his special moves, you see them in their dead form use it, and I think that would look really, really cool.
Damn straight.
So yeah, that's definitely a very cool option. That's something I would be all in favor for if that's kind of what they make him the main villain and go in the story of that. But anyways, number 2.
All right. Who else do they have up on here?
Number 2.
Ah, yes. Here we are.
Number 2.
Number 2.
Goes. Cockle-doodle-doo.
Captain Adam.
Captain Adam?
Captain Adam.
He was good. He barely... I was going to have him as an honorable mention, but he barely got edged out by Obsidian. So tell me about Captain Adam.
Okay, first look at the guy. He's shiny and chrome.
He would be amazing.
Mad Max fans.
Yeah, visually he's badass, and I think power-wise he'd be really interesting.
Fucking just all sorts of Silver Surfer-like cosmic comic energy. How could you not want this character in a fighting game? He's made for it.
I agree with you, yeah. He's kind of got like the Seth Street Fighter looking to him.
One of my actual suggestions for nominations, well, I mean, almost ends, was actually going to be like his arch nemesis, Major Force, and as
Right.
much as I guess that Major Force is an arch nemesis for him,
Yeah.
but there's just really nothing impressive about Major Force himself, than the fact that he killed Colorado's girlfriend and stuffed her in a fridge.
Oh god.
And
Yeah.
I mean, I think that Adam needs some exposure first before we can actually get anyone else of his supporting cast up in there.
Right.
But the guy is overdue for some love.
Yeah, like I said, great look. I think he could have some really fun powers. That's why I almost put him on my list. And yeah, I just think he would be badass. Like what Temp and I were talking about when it came to like Spectre or Phantom Stranger. They just have a great look that if you saw him in a fighting game, just up on the screen, they would just have a very commanding presence that you're like, that just looks like a comic book character. That I don't know, just certain characters like that have a visual to them that is really fun and exciting like that.
Damn straight.
So yeah, I completely agree. All right, your first honorable mention before we get to number one.
My first honorable mention?
Yep.
Deadshot.
Razor was saying he did not want Deadshot, but
Really?
I was all for Deadshot. I didn't include him on my list, but the likelihood of him being in with the whole Suicide Squad tie-in, which they're probably going to do to some degree, I feel like I would like him. I'm thinking like, because he said he'd be too similar to Deathstroke, but Deathstroke does everything he does, but better and more, I should say. But I think there's some fun aspects you could do with trick shots and just like aiming the gun yourself, kind of like how Aaron Black can do it. He can aim up or at an angle.
I mean, if there was, maybe Rachel was talking about Deathstroke as he wasn't Injustice. He was an Injustice, right? The first one.
Yes.
Okay. I guess he had a lot of projectile attacks.
He had. I mean, he only had two. He had the shoot the guns. I believe. I mean, it's been a while. I don't know if he had like a rifle or sniper rifle or anything like that. I can't remember, but I know he had the double like pistols, and you'd shoot him up, or you could kneel and shoot him, so you could go as a higher or a medium or low attack type of thing. But
He wasn't a zoner though, right?
What's that?
Like he wasn't like a zoning character.
No, he was a mix between zone and rushdown, I'd say, because he had a sword, which played into a lot of his stuff too. So I'd say he's a mix of both. I wouldn't necessarily put him one over the other.
Well, as far as Deadshot goes, all the guy needs to do is be a zoner. He doesn't need to play anything like Deathstroke.
Right,
I have
right.
to disagree with that.
No, I agree, and the whole, like I said, trick shots would be fun with him. I'd like to see him just turn away and shoot somebody because he's just that damn good of a shot. And you could take everything about Aaron Black's guns and expand upon them because
This is actually why I think he's probably going to be a lock for Injustice 2, which is why he's not severely up on my wish list. I'm pretty sure we're going to see the guy.
Sure, I think there's a good chance. I think they're going to want to do some sort of Suicide Squad movie tie-in, and you're going to get probably Harley anyways. You'll probably get Joker anyways. So why not have Deadshot? I could see Deadshot or Killer Croc or both of them being thrown in there as well. I'm pulling for Katana. She's one that I put high on my list, but Deadshot is an easy one there, especially because he'll be a natural Green Arrow villain, which I don't think they had in the first one.
I did a Google search for like Green Arrow villains. I don't think I came up with any results. For the life of me, I don't know who the fuck he fights.
He's got a couple. He's got like Merlin, the guy that trained him. I'm pretty sure.
Right.
But I mean, we don't need him. We don't need another bow user to counteract his bow using. That's the same reason why I'm not really super like out of all of Flash's villains. That's kind of why Reverse Flash doesn't really appeal to me. Is because I don't want to see another guy that does Flash's powers but in a different way. I'd much rather see somebody more unique like a Grodd. And that's not me knocking him. If he's in, I'm sure it'll be done really well. But it's just not my personal preference. But yeah, I think Deadshot would be a natural Arrow villain because if they're going to have a Green Arrow villain, might as well make it somebody that's both been on Arrow and going to be a major part of Suicide Squad. So yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
I'm not too sure if the guy was actually ever an Arrow villain before the show came along.
I don't know. I don't know what villain he was. He was in an Arkham game, but he's not like a Batman main villain.
Like,
so
it's for me, I most closely associate him with Suicide Squad.
yeah,
And
let's see.
He's another one of those characters. He spent a lot of time in Suicide Squad, basically.
I'm curious. Yeah, part of the Secret Six. Trying to see if there's anybody
It's actually really, really good.
Man who replaced Batman.
He's dealt with Batman a few times, that much I know.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of Batman-related stuff that he's been a part of. I'm seeing... He's fought, Suicide Squad-related stuff. Suicide Squad.
It pretty much became his home.
So yeah, it's pretty much, he's a Suicide Squad guy. So yeah, he's probably just a villain that's not necessarily tied down to one specific character. He's just a generic, not generic, but he's an overall, kind of villain, kind of like a Grundy type of thing. Not
So
really tied
his
to one
characters
person.
aren't tied down to anything.
Yeah. All right, and then your second honorable mention.
I came in here all ready to say Conduit again, like I did the other drunken night. Because I'd like to see it happen.
I have something to bring up, actually. Why did you say that Red Tornado was a Vision?
I just don't fucking like the character. I never have.
But why'd you say he's a Vision clone?
He's just another fucking robot that wants human emotions.
But he came out 2 months before Vision.
Was he really?
Yes, me and Temp looked it up.
All right, well, good then. Because I've always found Vision to be more interesting.
No, that's fine. I'm not.
I swear to God, I don't really see this with Vision, but like every fucking time I read like a Justice League comic, I feel like I'm seeing Red Tornado get blown up. I think that like 3/4 of the Red Tornado comics that I've ever read have had him blown up or be blown up or destroyed or something. It's like they almost feel the need to remind us, hey, this guy's a robot. And I just can't take him serious.
Doesn't mean, I'm not. I can't speak to if he's written well, but I just like the character himself. I think he looks cool, and I think his power set's something that would be interesting to include in Injustice. But regardless, I can't comment on the written part. But anyways, sorry, I had to bring that up because that made me laugh. But
even fucking Avatar Aang wore arrows better than this guy. His clothes are so goddamn hideous.
All right, your second honorable mention.
Hello, arrows. Look at my danger zones. Anyway, my second choice. I mean, I'll totally come off as an ass, like shit-talking Red Tornado here, and then saying Conduit as my second choice, because it's never going to happen, because no one fucking remembers Conduit with me. But I liked this guy.
So is Conduit your choice?
Conduit. And in terms of playstyle, I got two words for you. Omega Red. And he just looks amazing. I like that outfit a lot.
Yeah, Omega Red is a very fun character, obviously, and I could see the comparison there. But yeah, he probably doesn't have the best chances.
No, I just think that the world could use more exposure for Superman villains who aren't Zod or Luthor.
Sure. I mean,
even Brainiac could like use some more exposure. I could even see Brainiac in this game if like they used his metal body with like the brain inside of it.
Right, the Brainiac 13 version. See, that's kind of what I see these games as, is you want to have the AAA title characters. You want to have like maybe 70% of the roster be, your big name heroes, your A and your B list heroes, but there's no reason why we can't get, the other 30% to be C and D list heroes, because all that's going to do is get them more exposure, get them more popularity, and it's kind of like the Marvel movies. It'll turn them into more household names, if anything. Granted, that's not going to happen just through this game, but it should be used in a way to not only provide a fun game and all that goodness, but it should also be used as a tool to expose your characters more. So why not bring, like when I mentioned Katana, it's like, yeah, we could have Harley be the only Suicide Squad, but why not have Katana? Why not have Dr. Fate? It's not like Dr. Fate can't have more exposure. I mean, Jesus.
It's actually a really, really good choice. I didn't think of Dr. Fate when I made this list.
He was the top of mine, obviously.
Really,
because
realistically speaking, I kind of want to replace my actual number one choice with Dr. Fate, because Dr. Fate's a great character that does deserve to be around.
Well, you're preaching to the choir, because like I said, he's somebody I was completely all for in Injustice 1, and he didn't make it, unfortunately. And I think, with Marvel making Doctor Strange in November, when they're releasing it, and this game's, if it's announced, will likely come out next spring, why not have, a trailer around the time of Doctor Strange, of Dr. Fate's, reveal in the game, and be like, just sell the fact that DC has a very cool sorcerer, character as well. He looks badass. He's got, all the power and potential as well. It's just they don't ever do anything with him. So it's a shame. I want more Justice Society characters in general. But that's
Truth to that.
Then yeah, Tem put Spectre on there. I'm all about Dr. Fate. So.
Spectre. That's kind of like having Galactus as a
No, I know.
Sure, he could, but doesn't he have better things to be doing?
It'd be tough. See, I think Spectre would be I wanted to see him in there just because we see Superman versus Harley Quinn, so like you can't.
I'd like to see Spectre as a background, sure.
Well, but logistically wise, yes, he's super powerful. But if you have Superman fighting Harley, you can have Spectre fighting Harley or Superman or any of those. It doesn't really matter. It's just for fun. But sure. Yes, I think he has a cool appearance and a great power set. But yeah, I agree. If anything, he should be a background character, kind of like Kingdom Come. He'd be a great narrator to the story, just kind of an onlooker, kind of overseeing things. But anyways, did you have another honorable mention?
Honestly, look, I can't believe this. I'm sitting here and I'm staring at your Dr. Fate icon on Link, and I'm like, the more I think about this, my number one character has no reason to be in this game with all of these candidates that I've just mentioned present. So you know what? I think that my number one is just going to be Dr. Fate.
Hey.
I'm going to actually relegate my number one back down to honorable mention.
All right. Well, who was that character, real quick?
That is going to be that is Red Hood. That is Jason Todd.
Well, I think Red Hood, out of all the characters we've mentioned, out of all the characters on people's lists, I think Razor had him on his list as well as an honorable mention. But I think out of all the characters, he has the greatest chances. Easily.
He's so hot right now. I mean, Arkham Knight and everything.
There's that. He was in Injustice 1. He was up on the list of they ran a poll for DLC, and he was high on that list, really high. He was Zatanna was up there, Static was up there, Martian Manhunter, of course. I don't think he was on the poll because they knew people wanted him, but Red Hood, he's out of all those other characters, he was the only one that wasn't included in the game, and I think he's pretty much a lock in my opinion.
Here's my question, though. How would you incorporate this guy and make him stand out enough, both from the likes of Deadshot
and Deathstroke?
His shtick is guns. Deathstroke, Batman. I can't think of too many things that Red can do that no one else can do better.
It's tough. It's definitely tough. You'd have to put a lot more emphasis on both his acrobatics, and you'd have to kind of cherry pick the things from the other characters and not make them too much like them. You'd have to maybe have him do flips and shoot, so he's up in the air. He does a flip in the air and shoots down. So he's just doing more acrobatics while he's shooting, I guess.
Give him an aerial character. Give him a couple of dash grabs, or he slaps some C4 onto your shoulder, and
right.
Maybe after that, when he jumps off, whatever button you press, it blows up and it knocks them a different way. Because he does work with explosives quite a bit.
Sure, and then there's also the knives. He uses knives, so you could do stuff with that. Some cool combat normals. I'm thinking of the Winter Soldier Captain America fight in the movie. You could have some cool, very expert knife type combat with him. So you could kind of roll all those into one. And I think if Deadshot's, especially if Deadshot's in there, Deadshot's gonna be pure guns, nothing else. Deathstroke, you can downplay the guns just a tad and put a lot more emphasis on his sword use and his combat. So you could kind of work it to where all three could be in the game and still fight differently enough. Because it's kind of up to them what each person has, obviously. So if they want to, they can make any character feel different if they try hard enough, so to speak.
Fucking I'm up for it.
You could take the exact same power. You could take something like an ice beam and still change it so it has different properties, does different things, and has a different approach. Kind of like how they had Frost go along the ground versus. Yeah. So there's ways to make something like that happen if they want to enough.
I could definitely see giving Jason one single use only uber powerful helmet special a lot. He likes to blow up his own helmet.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
As an explosive. Definitely.
It could be... Well, I wouldn't say it would be... Maybe it'd be his trait button, but that probably wouldn't be a good trait because you could only use it once per game. But it could be something like that would be interesting, yeah.
Have him pull out a crowbar and start beating people with it.
Right.
So, yes, Dr. Fate. Probably my number one realistic choice. Probably the character I think really deserves to be in there.
Well, you just put a big smile on my face because it's a character I've been fighting for, and I will fight when Injustice is announced. If it is announced, he's gonna be my GM. So I'm totally gonna be all about trying to get him.
Despite my crazy, I am all about the logic, and Dr. Fate's one kick-ass character.
That he is. I think there's a lot of... He's easily a character that could be higher up on the popularity list in the DC universe overall, but he's just not... He doesn't ever get exposed in anything. He was in the animated series, like, in a couple episodes. He was on Smallville for probably a couple episodes. I didn't watch Smallville, but I know he made an appearance. Yeah, other than that, I mean, he's in the Earth 2 comics and stuff like that, but he's not like somebody that gets a whole lot of exposure, and I don't see why. He's got a badass look. He's a sorcerer, like I said. The power set's there. The story's really cool, so why not?
He could fucking plant those onks all over a screen, left, right, and center. He could put up magic barriers. He could put up like traps to like keep a guy in place. There's no limit to what you can do with this guy.
I agree. I'm really hoping, as I mentioned in the other video, he at least was acknowledged in the lead up to Injustice 1 by Ed Boon, by him saying he was deconfirmed. He posted a video saying there's no fate but the one we make, or whatever, that song. So he at least acknowledged that Dr. Fate, and also he was in his costume, or his outfit was in one of the arenas, the Justice Society or the Justice Hall or whatever it was, with some other Justice Society members like Dr. Midnight and stuff. So I'm hoping enough, since he's clearly known by the team and he was put into the game to a degree with his outfit, so he's got that little kind of reference, and then for Ed Boon to deconfirm it at least means it's on his radar. He's on his radar. So yeah. That's good. It's better than just being completely not said anything about him as if they don't know who he is. So I'd say his chances are decent. I'd give him like a 50 or 60% chance. It's not like he's, sitting with a 20 or 10%. I think he's got a decent chance. It's more of, do they have a role in the story for him? That's kind of what I'm hoping. The stories has more side groups to them. I hope, the Suicide Squad, the Justice Society, the Lanterns, hell, the Outlaws, the Legionnaires, like there's so many groups to leave them all out kind of sucks. So that's kind of why I wouldn't be upset seeing a lot of seeing Joker sit out, or any of these other characters sit out that they've had their exposure. They can be a background character and get away with it.
Whenever they put Joker in a fighting game, it always feels really forced to me.
Right. It just feels like they're doing it for the popularity factor. They're not doing it for the necessity factor. I
understand it, but he's not a character that I would say lends himself particularly well to fighting games. I'll give him credit for actually managing to make him work to some extent, but I can think of a million characters I'd rather have in Joker's place.
Right. Yeah, that's what we were all kind of saying. I know Temp said that, and etc. So yeah, I agree, but he's going to be there. But I just hope we get a larger roster so the guys like Fate and stuff like that have a higher chance. If we get 28 characters and say 60% are the obvious picks that we're going to get, and then the rest 40 are kind of going to be a balance between characters that have really high chances, like a Zatanna, because of their popularity. You need to get like a Dr. Fate or some of these other characters, because even the reason why they put Ares and Killer Frost in there in the first game was because they wanted at least a couple obscure characters. So they need to do that again, but have maybe 4 obscure characters and have 4 B and C list characters like a Fate and stuff. So I mean, there's no reason why you can't build that popularity, because that's how you're going to do it, especially in a game like this. It's going to have a big fighting game scene, and all the casuals will buy it because it's a DC fighting game, so you have so much appeal to it. So why not put in a character? I'm thinking back to like Marvel vs. Capcom 3. They put Deadpool in, and that did even more wonders for his popularity. But think of Rocket Raccoon. That was a lot of people's first, kind of meeting of Rocket Raccoon. So, and then he later became a huge, with Guardians of the Galaxy release.
Shake the hand of whoever decides on the rosters for those MVC games. I feel like if it wasn't for those, I still would not know or care who the fuck Shuma Garath is.
Right.
I have no idea why they chose him. Maybe it's, I don't know, sort of weird tentacle fetish thing. But in any case, that actually made me want to see Shuma Garath more often in the comics.
Right, and that's what these... I mean, there's no reason... A marketing tool is such like a dirty word, but it can be good. As long as you're not forcing characters that don't have a chance of gaining in popularity. But someone like Dr. Fate has tons of potential. Someone like a Captain Atom, which a lot of people probably don't know either unless they're actual comic book readers. Like, these are characters you could do with. Black Hand. And then some, like on other lists, like Zatanna. Not many people outside of comic book readers probably know who Zatanna was, but you throw her in a game like that, you have a woman magician doing all these cool things and just a fun character, and people are going to dig her. And that's how you get more popularity for the character. There's no reason why they can't build up Dr. Fate's his popularity, then do a Justice Society movie down the line. So, I mean, these...
And I can't help but not feel bad for them just a little bit, though, because every time they try to branch out, they just mess up. Looking at you, Green Lantern movie.
Well, I'm keeping my fingers crossed for the Suicide Squad movie, and that is going to be the movie that defines whether they branch out like that ever again. If it's a huge success on a movie filled with...
Which I think it's probably going to be.
Yeah, I think it'll at least be okay. I don't think it's going to be horrible. I think people are going to probably like it because it's going to be a fun movie regardless if it's a super intelligent movie. It's at the end of the day, it's going to be a fun ride, and that's what's going to matter. And if they can do that, maybe it'll give them the confidence they need to make more movies based on these other characters.
You know what I just realized?
What's that?
All my honorable mentions just have complete face masks.
They do. They have the rounded.
Is that what's really going on subliminally? Do I just like really cool full cover face masks?
I mean, hell, look at Fates. Fates is awesome. I love his helmet.
Maybe we should put Bueno Excelente back in there under honorable mentions to, mix things up just a little bit.
All right. Let me find that picture again. Here we go.
For the benefit of our viewing audience. Oh my god. Thank you for that, Chrome. That made my day.
Gotta shrink it down here. Do one of these numbers. All right. Well, do you have anything else to say about your list or anything you want to comment on?
I guess if I had to have a choice, I would probably put Captain Atom ahead of Dr. Fate just by a little bit. But they're both characters that I think really desperately need to be in.
Well, do you want me to swap them?
You know what? No. Atom over Fate is just my personal preference, but Dr. Fate's a character that really, really should be present in a lot more media. Captain Atom, I can at least understand why he's a side character most of the time. I've always been a fan of the Silver Surfer, Silver Dude design.
Right. No, I agree. He looks really cool. It's almost like
Street Fighter 4,
it's like Captain Planet mixed with Silver Surfer.
Done right. Really done right.
Well, yeah, done right. I don't say that in insult. I don't know. I'm hoping this game, at the very least, if these characters, somebody like a Captain Atom or Dr. Fate, don't make the game for whatever reason, I'm hoping there's a big upsurge, which probably won't happen because Martian Manhunter was pretty obvious exclusion from the first one until he got finally put in DLC. But yeah. I'm hoping for an uproar for these characters, but I don't feel like an uproar like that's going to happen unless, A, we speak about them, and other people from hearing from us speak about them as well to other people and kind of spread it through the forums and kind of create that aura of support. Or B, I don't know, maybe they play a big role in the story and they're like, oh, that character looks cool, and they want him for DLC. But that's kind of the thing is, unless they get exposure through the game, then people probably aren't going to, ask for them, a lot of these characters. I mean, Dr. Fate, I know a lot of people asked for him in the first one, but I don't think, it wasn't like a Fujin or Martian Manhunter uproar type of thing, I don't think.
It just would have been really, really nice, that's all.
Alright, well, on that note...
Yup.
Interesting, so to wrap up this series, so to speak, we have... I don't think anybody... Razor had Captain Cold, so there is that crossover between your lists. Let's look at these other ones. Dr. Fate, you and me share, is number 1. So if we were doing a point system, he'd actually have the highest point value out of all the characters, which I can smile about. Red Hood was on both your and Razor's lists, I believe. And then Zatanna made a couple lists, and Swamp Thing made a couple lists. So, and Star Sapphire made a couple lists. Other than that, all the other characters were completely unique, if I remember correctly. So that's pretty cool. Out of the 5 of us, we didn't have a whole lot of repeat.
I think that alone right there just speaks to just how varied and how much potential DC's back roster has, and why they're wasting their time not showing them off more often.
Right, there's a lot. There's a lot of characters. You're talking about like well over 100 characters they could choose from, but realistically, there's a good 50 at least. Other than like the big name ones, there's at least 50 that are reasonable. You could make a case for why they should be included and why they would. Why it would help that character, but also be a great addition to the game. So, yes, the sigh. Well, let's hope. Let's cross our fingers, whether you buy the game or not, just for the sheer character's sake. Let's hope DC is smart about it, and because it helps both sides. It helps the fans because you're going to get some very happy fans that may not feel like that character has much of a chance swimming with sharks, basically. And it helps DC and WB a ton because it's just making their characters' stock rise. So why would you not do that? Why would you live in comfort of knowing, we have our Batman and Superman and Justice League characters and their respective main villains. We don't need any more, A-list characters. It's like, did Marvel do that? They made Guardians of the Galaxy one of the most popular teams, I bet, groups, just based off of that movie.
For real, Rocket Raccoon's almost a cultural icon at this point. Everyone loves the little guy.
They went from obscure, like B or C list characters to now they are A-list characters for the Marvel brand. You could throw them up on a poster and it will sell. In fact, I have this Marvel poster that I bought back in it's like the red. Actually, let me pull it up because I bet you I could find the Marvel roster posters. I have 2 versions basically. One that was pre all their. When they started making like Iron Man and all their movies, and then one that was post them making. Yep, both of them are right here. So I'm going to put both of these up because I want to prove a point at just how different things were before the movies and after the movies, and you see the difference in how they organize their roster on this poster, which is obviously based around their most popular characters. Okay, so pre-movies, you have Spider-Man up front, which makes sense because of his movies. The X-Men because of their movies, Hulk because of his TV show and movies, Fantastic Four because of their movies. They are the most recognized characters. And you have like Iron Man and Captain America kind of peeking around and stuff. But all in all, you have it based around Spider-Man, the X-Men, Fantastic Four, and Hulk are the main upfront characters. Okay.
Hey, there's Venom. Do I see Mystique over to the left?
Yep. She's right down here, yeah. So yes, you have the focus on them because that's what's going to sell the poster. But obviously, it's everyone, so we're going to organize it accordingly. Now, let's compare that with after the movies, and it's funny because this is a crappy quality image. Let me see if I can grab that other one. Here we go.
I just want to point out, 5 years from now, after the Squirrel Girl movie becomes #1 in the box office, everyone is going to be wearing Squirrel Girl t-shirts. Like read the comic; it's hilarious.
Okay, so this is like the same crappy quality, but you get the idea. Up front and center, no longer Spider-Man. He's kind of up here, which makes sense. He's still popular, but up front and center, Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, Hulk, Black Widow, Hawkeye. And then you have the X-Men on the side now, and you have the Fantastic Four kind of peeking through. It makes sense because now
they're getting shuffled toward the back.
Right, now their main characters are the Avengers because that's what the movies are all about. So it just goes to show, just doing characters right and promoting them right through movies, through media, through games, cartoons, etc. You can make them into A-list characters. That's just, for Marvel, before the movies came out, yes, Captain America, Iron Man, etc., Thor were big name characters for the Marvel brand, but mainly through the comics, through the movie, like other than the really crappy ones done in the 80s and 90s and all that stuff, through the main general, your grandma, what she's going to know. She's going to know who Spider-Man is. She'll know who the X-Men are, but she didn't know who those characters likely were, or you're just general person walking down the street. But now everyone knows because Avengers are huge. So that's kind of my point is, if you want to make a Dr. Fate huge, if you want to make insert character here huge, then you got to make...
A chance.
What's that?
Give them a chance.
Yeah, give them a chance, exactly. Get a good writer, get, a good director and all that good stuff, get good actors, or if you're talking about a video game sense, which can be really effective as well, just put them in a game. Just throw in a character like this into a fighting game that a lot of people will buy, or at least try. They're going to say, ooh, I like this character. That's simple, but anyways.
Sure.
All right. Well,
I guess that's it.
Yeah, that closes it down. So thanks everyone for watching once again, and thanks for tuning in. And I've been reading your guys' lists. I saw everyone's on Facebook, so maybe we'll mention those on the next on the Netherkast or Graveyard or whenever we talk about Injustice. And hopefully Shadaloo and Razor will have an episode of The Lost this coming up week. And
we're trying hard to every time I pop on Link, which tends to be like once every couple of days, I'm like, Razor, when do you want to do this? And he's like, oh yeah, we do that soon. And then nothing ever happens. This has been happening for the last couple of weeks. There's a lot that we want to discuss. We want to talk about the Jeff Rovin MK novel, which he just finished for the first time, and
right.
He loved the ending. So at the very least, we're going to get to that. I think we're going to be covering a lot of like extraneous outside of the normal MK media world.
And that's good. That's good. That's kind of what I wanted. I wanted different shows so you can get your voice on a bunch of different subjects, and that's what we're hoping to deliver. And then the week after this upcoming week, we'll do the Nethercast, where we all come back together and discuss whatever the hell we want to discuss. So anyways, enjoy, and adios.
Cheerio, folks.